So in this video we're going to be taking a look at the new 2024 OEX PHOXX 1 Plus lightweight tent. Now this tent is only 860 grams. That is including the poles plus pegs. One thing the tent does not have is a ground sheet, but I will talk about that in the video. So OEX decided to contact me and ask me would I like to look at the new PHOXX 1 tent. A couple of other YouTubers are getting these new tents by OEX to have a look at the ultralight range. Paul Mez has just uploaded one on the new Bobcat, I think it is. It does look very good. I like the way you can put the tarp over the Bobcat. I do have the new tarp as well, but I feel like this video should be dedicated just to the PHOXX 1 Plus. I'm not sure what the plus means. PHOXX 1 one-man tent. Plus, does it mean like you can put your bag in it and you've got enough room? We'll have a look at that as we do the video. One thing I want to talk about is a retail price for this tent. £360 retail price, and you can get it for 190 if you're a member of Go Outdoors. You've got a membership card. I think it's very expensive for the retail price. And there's another thing I want to talk about, and that is the sealant on the tent. You have to seam seal it yourself, but I'll show you the equipment that they give you to do this. But first of all, 860 grams, very, very light. I'm always looking for lightweight tents when I start the hiking on this channel. And when OEX said would I like to look at it, I was just like, too right, why wouldn't I? So inside you do get your pegs, your poles. I think your sealant kit is just there at the bottom. And they do give you a little brush as well to brush it on the seams. But the seams have like a stitching what swell up with water when it rains, and that helps seal the gap up a little bit. Most of these high-end tents apparently have this sort of stitching now. This is fantastic. I'm going to get it set up. Now I'm not being biased just because I do like the OEX range a lot. It's been a massive brand on my channel from me going to Go Outdoors buying stuff and things like that. So if there's anything that I think you should be seeing, I should show you, let's say, what I think's a bit odd or not right, I will bring you to the camera and I'll tell you about it. But first of all, I am going to get it set up. Now I do believe, by the looks of it, it is a outer pitch first one-man tent. I'm just hoping what I can do is leave it all attached, and then every time I want to set the tent up, yeah, you will better do by these little clips here. Yeah, I can leave it all attached, and every time I want to set the tent up, I don't have to set it up in a pitch first. Original PHOXX 1 tents were always in a pitch first, so when it rains, if you're out camping, you get a little bit of wetness within your tent and on the inner material. But it does seem like it is an outer pitch first, so you can keep it all connected together. Makes it easier setting up in rain. And I must say, this material is so thin. You can see my hand behind it, look at that. It's so thin. And it's even got a little bit of stretchiness to it. Right, let's start getting it pegged out there. So the colour of the inner has slightly changed from the yellow what it was to the PHOXX 1 and PHOXX 2 in the green colour, to like now the inner has gone to this goldy colour. It's a lot like the Van Gogh colours now, I reckon. I'm just setting these up now because I just want to see how long this pole is. Yeah, that is one long pole. And the pole is already got a bit of an arch in it. I think that's from my iPod set it up actually. And this time you don't get the bottom end of the tent. Last time you got one what made like a tunnel shape, let's say, idea. Well, this is just two separate ones, and this sticks up at the bottom of the tent. Right, let's peg it out. They've changed the peg bags. So one time it's like a drawstring, you just pull it. Now you've got to flip it over. Yeah, and they've changed the pegs. These pegs are a lot like standard pegs you get from other brands now. They made them shorter as well. That'll be cut down on weight, won't they? Yeah, they've designed this tent for hiking and stuff like that, aren't there? I don't think it's going to be a winter camping tent at all. Not with the hydrostatic head what's on it anyway. So I am starting to do this wrong. I got it made about the original PHOXX one. You don't peg the inner out at all. So I do need to put that to one side. You have to peg the fly sheet out. I've had this up 3 times in my garden now, just to get used to setting it up. And once again, I've gone and thought, well, I think my brain is used to the original PHOXX ones, like I've said. What I will do in time is I'll get all the other designs of the PHOXX one, from the original to the EV to the PHOXX one, V2, and then the new one, and we'll get them all set out, and then we can see the generation change within the PHOXX one tents. So you can see just how much they've changed over the years, and there is quite a lot of difference just in the previous PHOXX one tents before the ultralight one come out. Right, so there's something that I learned when I set this tent up for the first time is don't peg out the centre pegs from the doorway. Do the top and the bottom. If you set your centre pegs out, then it'll be a lot harder for you to get your main pole through and get it in position. I hope I'm getting this right, because a lot of people will ask, is it harder to get these poles in place like some of the other PHOXX and OEX tents? A bit of a fight, but not too much. So the pole what goes at the foot end needs to be just within, you see it's got the air vent there, bit of mesh. You do have a little sleeve where it goes into like so, then you just lift it up. Then you pull this round and you connect that into place somehow, like this here. Yeah, this is one of them nasty pain in the bum ones really, but I get it, it's got to be slightly harder to get it in for tension on the tent. There we go. And that now pulls it all the way out, and then you have to pull it out like so. What do you think about this design, where it goes from obviously the wide point at the top right down to this really 50 centimetre foot area at the bottom? It is actually smaller than the previous PHOXX ones at the foot end anyway. So this is different with this tent to other tents on market. Is you'd think this was your air vent. If you look inside, there's no air vent there at all. There's your zip for the door, what comes all the way around. So, what I'm thinking is, because that isn't an air vent, if you want some airflow, I think you have to open it from the inside. Yeah, you can do it. There's a bit of some cord there to do it. You can unzip it from the inside to allow the airflow through. I think that's a lot better, to be fair. I'm not being biased here either. Some of the other tents, if you want to close the air vent, you have to at least get out of the tent, push it down and hope that the Velcro stays closed. Well, this one, you can just zip it and unzip it from the inside. I think that's a lot better actually, to be fair. But a small tent like this, I always think it's better to leave the air vents open. Now I want to see if that's the same on the other side. Now I said that because on the other side there's no zip. On the previous PHOXX ones they put a zip there so you can have a entrance to both sides if needed. Yeah, that is something different on having one entrance. Yeah, so you'd have to be careful which way you want to pitch this tent up really, wouldn't you? If you want to be looking out for a view. But let me know your thoughts about it. Anything I pull out like this, please do give me your thoughts about it. I just reckon another zip on this side would have been a bit better. What's different on this one as well is there's no air vent here either, but you do get one at the bottom. I think a top air vent to help the airflow through. probably would have been a nice little touch as well. But I do get what they're doing. They try to keep it light as possible for hikers and things like that. Yeah, like I said in the beginning of the video, just because OEX sent me out to take a look at and show you guys, it don't mean I'm going to say everything's perfect if I see things what's changed. What I will do with it next week or so, well it'll be just over a week now, I will take this Fox one out on a wild camp. Got a few places in mind, and get out doing a wild camp with it, and you can see just how it does perform instead of me just doing a quick show video sort of thing. Wow, these are small little things. If you have big fingers or chubby fingers, let's say, you will struggle to get that through there. That is a bit of a pain, so it's getting it through. Yeah, what a pain. There we go. So you see inside, you get this red cord for the floor. There's a lot of slack in that. So that tells me I just don't have it pinned out enough. So once I release the pull from the grass and let it spring out, it's got its tension now, so I know how to peg that out there, I think. There we go. I do like that. That is a very, very nice little touch. Right, let's get the inner in place without covering the camera with a tent. Right, so I'm halfway from fitting the inner in place. What I would suggest is, if you do buy this tent, and I think the other new OEX tents are all going to be the same, before taking it out somewhere, for the first time anyway, I'd get it out of the bag and connect the inner in place. It's very easy. You get little clips like this on some elasticated material. And all you got to do is find the first one and clip it in place. So at the foot end, there's one at the top of the air vent, as you can see it there. This has to clip up to a clip right in this corner, and it is quite faffy. So you'll need to know just where the clip is to get it in place, like so. So once the inner is all in place, you are going to have to go around each corner. So you do have these little rods at each corner of the inner and start giving it a bit of tension to help pull the inner mesh in place. And you do have one here on the fly sheet, but I'm gonna go around the inner first and then adjust the fly sheet afterwards. So normally you can get away with not using the guidelines to set tents up, but you do need these guidelines in place, because if not, the centre of the tent just dips down. I will show you by taking them off. See how much it changes then, just like that. So you do have to tie them out to give it the tautness on the tent. You better see the difference if you just keep an eye out. Around about centre of the tent. So once you pull this out, see how it changes. So yeah, you do need to tie them out. Good Velcro, that, really good Velcro. Makes a change. So there we go, the tent is now all set up. Like I said earlier, when you get this tent for the first time, I'd just clip the inner in place with the fly sheet, and it's going to be a lot quicker next time round. Now something I do like here is the door zip for the inner mesh is set back from the tent fly sheet zip. I do like that, so if you got it open a little bit, there's a bit of a breeze, it's not coming directly into the tent because it's set back from the zip. What I do like that quite a bit. The doorway room, yeah, you're not going to get much there. Maybe your boots in here, that's round about it. Maybe your stove or something. There's not a lot of room to be doing anything here. So this may look a funny shot, but you can just sit up in the tent, and I'm 5'8", I think. You can just sit up at my height. Any higher than that and you're going to have an issue. So when you get the stuff out for the Fox One, you'll find a little repair kit, and it says it on the little bag. So inside here you're going to find a bit of pole to repair a broken pole if it happens when you're out and about. And then you get some OEX Ultralite silicone seam sealer. And then you do get a little brush. So that means all the seams you're going to have to go over with the seam sealer. There's also something else in here. Let's get this out. Yeah, you get a few pieces of material what the tent's made out from. So you get some grey, some blue, some of the goldy colour, some mesh from the inner mesh, and then some more blue. That's the fly sheet colour, that, isn't it? So yeah, you do get some repair pieces there. You'd have to probably get some repair glue for that. So yeah, that is something what a lot of people have talked about previously on my Facebook group, OEX. I put a link in the description for that. If you're a person who likes OEX equipment, or you want to see information about the OEX equipment, the link in the description of this video will be there. OEX owner group. You'll be asked a few questions, and then me or a couple of the admin people will allow you in the group. You can't just join it because we've had a lot of people posting non-OEX equipment in there. And the group is set up just for people who are thinking about buying a piece of OEX equipment and they want to see some more information about it, or they can ask a question within the group. So that will be in the description if you want to check that out. Yeah, a lot of people have been going on about seam sealing a tent, but what I've learned is a lot of even the higher end tents now are making them so you have to seal it yourself. It's just cheaper on the manufacturers to bring the tents to us, cheaper. Right, I'll quickly show inside the tent. It's very small, so do bear with me. So down there is the foot end. I think that's 50 centimetres, so it's very small down there for your feet, but it's just where your feet are going to be going in it. And you can see the air vent here, and then there's the air vent on the fly sheet, what you can see through this one here. And then the inner material ends where your feet sort of stop, where your kneecaps will probably be. There's a lot of this inner mesh, so it's definitely not an Four Seasons tent. And you get one large pocket here to put your belongings in. You don't want to put out too heavy in that in case it pulls it down and the mesh starts coming over your head. Like I said, there's no air vent here or here, but you do have this one here, what we're going to take a look at now anyway. Now this is something I don't like. I don't see why they've done this. So to open, say, the longer zip of the bottom of the door, it's got its own zip for that. Instead of it being made just all the way around, it's been made with two zips. I don't know why they just didn't do it as one continuous zip. Like I say, you got enough room for your boots there. So you're opening your tent, looking to get a bit of airflow through. There you go. Hey, it does actually allow airflow in as well. If you want a quick look out, see what's going on, you can do that. It does seem bigger than the original Fox ones on the inside of the tent. What is good, in case you're going to be in the tent for a long period of time, you do have a lantern holder here. I don't know why that's just not in the centre there like the rest of them, but at least you do have one where you can just connect to there. So inside the tent, the inner material here is at least a good foot up from the ground, and then it goes to the inner mesh. So you do get the foot bath idea when you're inside this tent. Let's get out of the tent and then I'll talk about some things about the tent, and then a couple of comments what are being said on the OEX group about the new design of the OEX tents as well. So seam sealing the tent, you're definitely going to have to seam seal all the way down this one and this one here, and maybe around the zip air vent area. Yeah, I definitely do around the pole as well. You can see it there, and down this side. I think all the stitching, seam seal it. Now the tent stitching itself is made in a way, and with the material that they use, but once the thread gets wet, it swells up a little bit in size, and that causes a seal. So the tent shouldn't leak at 1000 hydrostatic head. That is the outer material, 1500 hydrostatic head. The ground sheet is 3000 hydrostatic head. Now I asked OEX, is there going to be a footprint available for this tent? And they said that has to be brought separately. So you spend all the money on the tent, and then you got to wait till they release the ground sheet and pay extra money for that. I don't know how people feel about that, but I think really, and this is me being honest, it should be with the tent as a whole unit. It really should. But that would add to its pack weight. But if you take it anyway, you're adding to your pack weight anyway, aren't you? So yeah, let me know what you think about the ground sheet. Anyway, a couple of other measurements, what we need to talk about. The whole length of it is 260 centimetres. The height is 95 centimetres. I think that's slightly bigger than the previous PHOXX ones. The bottom of the tent where your feet go, 50 centimetres. That is smaller than the previous PHOXX ones. And the top part of the tent is 130 centimetres. Now that is the outer measurements. The inner measurements will be slightly smaller. They really don't show it too good on this card. They don't talk about the inner and the outer, they just show the outer. What is a shame really, because people with a bigger build would have liked to have seen that on here. But this will all be available on the website of Go Outdoors, Blacks, Millets and places like that when the tent does come up for sale at back end of this month, April. Now there's other things that I want to talk about. Is the fly sheet is 10D nylon silicone on both sides. The pole, the big long pole, is D 8.5 mil, and then the smaller one is D 7.9 mil, one piece. Hydrostatic head of the whole tent, the outer is 1500. The inner is 10D nylon breathable material, that must be, and it's 15D nylon mesh. 15D nylon mesh. Should keep bugs out really. Actually there's one there trying to get on the tent, so it can't get in it, so yeah, bugs may find it harder to get in the tent. The ground sheet 3000 hydrostatic head, PU coated nylon. Like I say, 3000 hydrostatic head is a lot better. The previous OEX tents was 5000 hydrostatic head, so they have dropped the hydrostatic head on the fly sheet a lot, but that is to keep it lightweight, 860 grams. It'll make a fantastic hiking tent. Winter camping, absolutely no chance. I wouldn't take the tent out in winter, just because the mesh really doesn't make it a 4 seasons tent anyway. There's other OEX tents what you can get. I'll link that in the description, so you've got a direct link to that, so you can see them. But yeah, it's definitely a late spring to summer to early autumn hiking tent. If you just want lightweight equipment, I think this tent is part of that equipment what I would be taking anyway. So I'm going to read you this, what's right at the bottom of the card what you get when you buy this tent. This is a specialised lightweight tent. To keep it waterproof, its seams may require seam sealing. The seam sealer provided. So that's that little seam sealer within this little bag. This is a standard procedure for performance lightweight tents. Yeah, I've had a few other tents actually what do need this, not mentioning no names. But yeah, I've had some lighter tents that do need that. Now, there's only one thing I can do really in a week or so is get this tent out on a wild camp, what I'm going to be doing. So within the OEX Facebook group what I was talking about earlier, a lot of people have mentioned OEX should have done this in the PHOXX 2. I reckon it's true. If they would have done this in the PHOXX 2, I reckon it would have outsold every other OEX tent what they've ever made. Because the PHOXX 2 now is probably the most popular OEX tent sold. If OEX knows different, they can always contact me and let me know. But I think the PHOXX 2 is the biggest selling OEX tent by miles. I really do. So what I will do is in a couple of weeks, I'll get all the PHOXX ones out. We'll make a full video showing you all the different PHOXX ones. And then we can just see the generation change within the tents and the difference that OEX has applied to the tents. But for now, I'm going to end this video here. So please do give me all your comments and all your thoughts about the new PHOXX 1 Plus tent. Only one thing I can do is basically I'm going to take it out on a wild camp and then I'll bring it to the channel and you can see my thoughts about it, using it properly as a tent should be used. So if you want to see more, here's my logo. Hit this, it'll help you subscribe to my channel. I'll share another video up there. I'll probably share something to do with an OEX tent so you can see that up there. And then you can see that and see, you know, what other tents are available basically. But for now, I'm going to get off. So thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. And thank you, OEX, for sending me this tent out.